Angus, the partnership with BCNA and Melbourne has been long-standing. What do you feel when you see that pink lady on the MCG?
Yeah, it has been. So 9 years, I remember playing my first game and I remember feeling really a special connection to it. My own personal story with a couple of close family friends and some family members. So there's a real clear connection, which is something that I'm really proud to be a part of. Obviously, it's awesome that the AFL is, as a whole, standing behind the cause, but to be a part of the Melbourne Football Club and to be a bit more intimately connected is something that from the beginning I've been really proud of, and it's been 5 years since we've been able to do this event. And every time you get in the colours, you get out on the MCG, you see the people, you see the connection and the impact that this event has. Is for me, that's something that's really special, and I'm super honoured to be a part of.
The football community is good at this.
Yeah.
Right? They sort of more often than not get it right. What does it mean to actually play on the night, to celebrate the occasion?
I think you've nailed it, Clint. There's something that, as an industry, I think we should be really proud of, that we can help so many causes, and it takes it to a new level as a player when you get to go out. And I think the event is run really well, where you can connect with so many different fans and different people who've got their own stories and their own journey. So to be able to play a part in actually helping that cause, and for us, it's just playing football. There are so many stories that, if people are doing it so hard, for us, it's just a small bit that we can do, and it seems to have a big impact. And so to be able to have that impact, I think it's a really special feeling, and I know it's something that all the players who are involved feel really strongly about.
How do you reflect on that game against Carlton the other night?
Well, look, it was a finals-like game. I feel like we've had over the last month a couple of really close games that have gone into a do or die for the. I think we played Adelaide, who really needed to win. We played Brisbane, who are a good team. Richmond as well, who are playing for their final. So it feels like every week we're playing a high intensity, high stakes game, which is I think great preparation for what's to come in the later parts of the year. I think obviously we love to win every single game. I also think that for our group, it's good. You lose, you learn, and you get better, and it'll keep us really sharp. Hopefully, sharpens us up, and I know we take some awesome learnings away from they're the top form team of the comp at the moment, so they've taught us a lot, and looking forward to, from a footy perspective for this weekend, putting some stuff in action and getting better.
What was it like playing whilst the Matildas were going on? Was that a bit unusual?
It was awesome, man. I don't know if anyone was watching our game. It wasn't particularly interesting. We were 21 at quarter, half time or something like that, and all the cheers were coming from the crowd, and certainly not for anything. It was a pretty dour, contested defensive game. So all the players were watching pre-game. That was really cool to have it on the screens, but we obviously had to turn it off and start playing. So it was good. The crowd was giving us little updates along the way about how we were going, and I thought it was an awesome way to integrate what they're doing, which is incredible, into our game got shifted as well, so everyone could watch it a bit more. I thought it was awesome.
How have you found shifting back into the midfield, racking up a few more causes? Can you see yourself sticking there now that Clary's back?
I just do what I'm told. I think for me, I've answered this something like this question for the last few years, and it always comes back to the team needs are above my own, and I'm always happy to sacrifice for the sake of winning. And look, Clayton's been out. I thought he did a really good job coming back after an extended layoff with a hammy that wasn't exactly cooperating. So for him to come straight back in the AFL and have a really, I thought, awesome team first, contested, tough performance, it was incredible. So he integrated really well. I think the team unit's been ticking along, and whatever my role in that is as long as I get to be involved, then I'm happy.
Angus, video reviews can be your friend, they can be your foes, as you found out on Saturday night. Is it too much of a lottery?
Well, I got told to play this one with a straight bat, so my comment on this is I was out on the ground, and I'm not sure. I've never spent a heap of time in the room reviewing it, so I'm not sure the processes. I don't know how they come to a decision, but that's their job, and mine's to play football. And that was a bit of a contentious review, I'm told, but for the last 2 minutes we had opportunities going forward, and would have been nice to win it, sure, but we we can just focus on what our process is in those close games, which I thought we executed that really well. We gave ourselves a couple of entries, a couple of looks, and to their credit, they defended well and won the game. But Yeah, I'm not sure what their process is. It's hard to comment on how that looks, but apparently it was a goal. That's what I've heard.
Do you think that technology is up to scratch?
Again, I'm not sure. I don't actually know what technology's in there. They've got a few cameras, obviously, and there's someone who's looking at the vision. But yeah, I mean, it seems to come up a fair bit. You'd hope that they're reviewing the game, like we review our games to see where we can improve, and you hope that AFL's doing something similar. But you got to trust them. That's what they're trying to get right, and they're putting a lot more effort into it than I am. I have no idea what their processes are, so you hope that that's something that they're looking at.
What if it happened in a final, though? How would that sit?
Oh, you guys would love it. There'd be a few more cameras, and there'd be a lot more people interviewing. You probably would be talking to someone like Gorney or someone a bit of a bigger fish, because it would be a big deal. But again, yeah, it's just like, it's my job to play football. This is what they're. I'm certain, without having any insight, that they're thinking about this exact same stuff, and you'd hate for it to compromise a game on a big scale like a final. But that's what the whole thing is set up to do. Is they're obviously trying to get it right. So certainly won't be the last time we're hearing about it. But for players, the only thing that it's just a bother when it goes for a while and you sort of think, geez, I'd love to be playing instead of standing around. That's the only time I really think about it, to be honest. The rest of it's all about actually winning the game.
Across the board, the comp is so even at the moment. How does it feel heading into finals?
I think it's actually really good for for the game. It feels like, as I said before, every other week we're playing a contender whose season's on the line. They have to win, and I think that that's making a better standard of football, where games are a little bit more on the line. You're getting the best shot from everyone every week, it feels like. So from a competition perspective, I think that's really positive. All this extra competition is keeping it, I think, interesting for a lot of teams. So the AFL will be loving that. But for us, we just, I think, love getting the chance to prepare our game style under the highest intensity, highest conditions, which we've been fortunate enough to play in a few finals. So we've had those experiences, but they're hard to replicate. So the fact that we're getting something similar just because every game's so important is something that our group's really loving. And the more experience we can get in those moments, the more prepared, the better we can be for when push does come to shove and the finals do roll around. So yeah, it's an exciting time of year. I love playing in big games, love playing on the big stage, and that's what this is. So every week's another opportunity to do that. Hawthorn are in really good form as well, so there's another opportunity for us to test our brand under high pressure.
You've half a game away from locking in a double chance. How important is it to do exactly that?
Yeah. So that's obviously really important. I think for us, it's probably shifting that perspective and just saying we want to keep improving. And I think historically, the team who improves the most and is building momentum is a team that does really well. So for us, it was the opposite last year, where we started really well and sort of tapered away. It feels like now we're building and building, and so if we half a game away from locking in, ideally we build and win the next two and then don't lose the rest of the season, you know what I mean? So we're less focused on ladder position and more focused on building, improving as a group, and playing really, really strong brand of football leading into finals.
Notice you haven't kicked a goal this season. Could be the first home and away season where you haven't hit the scoreboard. Does that play on your mind?
I've hit the scoreboard, just a couple of points. Are you talking about kicking goals?
Yeah, kicking goals. Is that something that plays on your mind, or something you want to add to your game at the moment?
It's not something that plays on my mind. We review our games, and as a midfield group, we talk about executing with the ball use, and as a group, that's something we like to try and do. But for me, I can't even remember the last time we kicked a goal, so it's not something that I worry too much about. And we've done a half decent job this year without me kicking any goals, so it's not the end of the world.
What's been more talked about?
Here we go, last one, lucky last
Sandhurst's
one.
calf or Clayton's hammy? How is he?
Oh yeah, we've ridden that roller coaster as a club. It seems like every week there's another camera at training or something. So everyone's really interested, obviously. And I'm really proud of Clayton. He's had obviously a lot of scrutiny, a lot of media scrutiny. And for him to that's the first major injury he's sort of had to deal with, which is something as a player that is really hard. And then the scrutiny on top of that, I really feel for him. So, yeah, I said before, the way he came out and played, I think it's a credit to how he's got through the process, and it's been him, it's been our high performance staff. I know have put a heap of work in. And yeah, it's great to have him back. Hopefully now the headlines about it all disappear and we can focus on the footy and what's happening on the field. So anyway, I think that's it for me. I'm getting pulled off. So thanks very much, guys.